Yeah, but you know what, Lucas? It's like, what is actually necessary for us to succeed in concentrated liquidity?
Yeah,
That's really where I was going with this. But also, what do I use on a daily basis? I've been doing this since 2012.
yeah,
And, so I'm just able to see the patterns on the charts now. But I wanted to take a look at this from the perspective of a beginner, someone who maybe has only seen a chart on a screen, doesn't know how to analyze a trend, draw a trend line, someone who's starting from zero.
yeah,
And, going through, this technical analysis is nothing without a little bit of historical context. So
yeah,
Lucas, if you just want to, scroll through it real quick,
yeah,
let's just take a couple of minutes and walk right into it. So
yeah.
um, TA really started out in, I think it was the 1700s, with a gentleman named Mr. Homa at a rice market in Japan. And then it evolved into what we consider to be, modern technical analysis today with Mr. Charles Dow. And he was a journalist for whom the Dow Jones Industrial Average is named. Um, but the thing that is important for us now in the digital age is the fact that these assets are traded 24/7 all around
Mm,
the world. So what
hmm.
that means is there's so much more data that we have access to. So you'll see when you're going through module 2, some of the basic concepts, when we're talking about price, volume,
This was really good,
time,
by the way.
trends, trend lines. These are the core concepts that must be understood in order to be able to make use of TA for yourself.
Hmm.
And it's really simple, price, everything is priced into the market. Past events, current events, future events are discounted. Price is the most important piece of data on your chart. Volume will help you to confirm price moves or reject them. Time, from a time frame analysis, you can take a look at a chart, on a 5-minute chart, a 5-minute time frame, or a 1 minute. If you're using 150x leverage and you're trading Bitcoin, you might be wanting to look at a 1-minute chart.
I've
But
done that, dude. I've done 50x leverage trades before, and when you won, you felt so amazing, and when you lost, you're like, I'm such an idiot.
I know. So Lucas, I've actually I've dived into the degen leverage space a little bit too. I've used 150x leverage.
Yeah.
And
Have you won
when
any
you
of those?
what's that?
Have
Yes.
you won any of those?
Yeah. So
It's like, yeah,
back in April, when Bitcoin had a pump from, what was it, like 19K to 20 something, I was using 150x leverage, and I was looking at the chart on a 1 minute, and I was literally like trying to blow the candle higher, like, come on. It's just
funny.
it's not what I do anymore. Um, but it gets me excited. It's a lot of
Yeah,
fun, and there's a place for it. It's just not what we do here. So,
100%.
taking a look at time for our purposes, I tend to analyze charts on a 4 hour, a daily, and a weekly. And the goal with that is to figure out, hey, how do I stay in range for the longest amount of time?
Hmm.
That's the goal.
Hmm.
And then when we take a look at trends analysis, what we're trying to do here is really identify in which direction is the market moving, because at the end of the day, for our purposes, the trend is your friend. And we just want to make sure that we're not trying to buck the trend. We also want to be able to anticipate when the trend is going to swing in a different direction. And we want to know, how do we identify a sideways trend? So, those are the three things that I'm taking a look at here in the trend section. The definition of a trend, how to draw a sideways trend, how to analyze a downtrend, how to define it, how to analyze an uptrend, how to define it. These are core concepts that must be understood in order to have a good foundation in technical analysis. And then after that, we hop into trend lines. And, just something to keep in mind is that I used the metaphor of an orchestra throughout this
It's a really
course.
good approach.
And, I view trend lines as the music sheet. Price is the lead singer, volume is the drum beat, time is the tempo, trends are the rhythm, trend lines are the music sheet. And this should give everyone, a general idea of how to draw trend lines. And the last little piece there, we bring it all together with just a quick overview of the most important concepts from Module 2. And then a quick quiz. And Lucas, if we've got a second, take a look at Module 3 so
Yeah,
that we
this
can
is
get
good.
everyone excited for what's coming. So, in Module 3, we're going to talk about support and resistance levels in more detail. We're going to talk about trend lines in more detail. And then we're going to hop into a little bit more advanced analysis where we're going to talk about moving averages, different candlestick patterns, price action patterns, breakouts and breakdowns, channels, how to draw them,
Mhm.
triangles, flags and pennants, some volume-based indicators, and then there's some really core foundational patterns that we're going to talk about. But I already wrote the quiz for Module 3, and I happen to enjoy going through new educational material and then quizzing myself on it.
Me
So
too.
it's a lot
When
of
I'm
fun
taking
for
a
me.
course, dude, I'd fill up a notebook full. Like I'll watch lessons 2, 3 times because I buy a lot of courses. I'm always going.
Yeah,
There's something about consuming information that just it cannot satiate me. Probably my
yeah,
lack of university and college. I'm just like I need to make up for lack of education. So I overcompensate maybe, but I love learning it. I love it more, and I love supercars, driven Lambos. Like I just love cars. But honestly, I'll drive the Lambo while listening to a podcast because I need to learn. Like
yeah.
it's very close up there. I'm like, do you want to go driving? Do you want to go motorcycle? Do you want to go ride bikes? Or do you want to learn?
I know. Yeah,
It's close. It might sound crazy, but it's close to me. So this is going to be super juicy. Um, but what I love is this gives. When I was going through it, I'm like, if this came first, it would be, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. This makes total sense because they can get the intro and see you talk about it and understand it from your metaphor with the music. And then um, sometime next week, we can start diving in and actually start playing with this and start finding it on charts. What I'm excited to see is inside the feed. There's already really good questions with ranges and all that, but I'm excited to see people um, draw all over their own charts and be starting to starting to look at their own charts and share. Here's what I see. What do y'all see? And it'll be cool to start having those discussions. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
yeah. I totally agree, Lucas. I'm really looking forward to the ability to have members submit their own technical analysis
Here we go.
screenshots. Yeah, that will be really cool.
Right here. Yeah. Yeah. We are trying to get that going inside we kind of put here for the portfolio reviews as well. It's like if you ever want something that you're sitting on reviewed, you can post in the DeFi challenge. That's the best place to post it. So if you just head right in here and you post it, we as a community can have a look. I know I saw someone, this one, I haven't responded yet, Mark, but I know you were like, hey, I know